Hi boys and girls, welcome to another day of kindergarten with Mrs. R. Today we're going to be working with the word family OG. So let's take a look at this picture here. We can see here that this word has an OG. OG says og. And when we put a new letter in front of it, it makes a new word. For example, in this word, this one says d-og, dog, just like here in the picture. If we were to take this D out and put an L in here instead, it would say og, log. So just by changing the first letter, you can make all kinds of new words. So let's go ahead and take a look and see at the first activity what we're going to do today and see what kind of words we can make. First thing we're going to do is building words using OG. So you can see here there are quite a few different kinds of words we can make. So the first thing we're going to do is get our pencil out and go ahead and trace the words that we have written here. After we trace the words, we will read them and then we will build them with some cutting and gluing. All right, let's go ahead and grab our pencils and go ahead and trace our words. Do your very best to stay on the lines when tracing. And you'll notice that all of these words have lowercase letters, okay? The only time we're going to capitalize the first letter of a word is when it is someone's name or it's at the beginning of a sentence, okay? All right, so if you are still tracing your words, this is a great time to press pause so you can get caught up with your words and then press play again when you're ready to continue with Mrs. R. All right, let's take a look at these words that we have here. Remember that Mrs. R said OG says og. So we're working with words in the og family, og. This is an L. L says ul, og, log. Okay, here's the next word. OG says og. We add an F, that sound at the beginning, og, fog. And you know what fog is. Fog is when we have a lot of moisture in the air and it looks like smoke. Sometimes it's close to the ground and sometimes it's up in the air. And it makes it hard to see sometimes when we're driving. That's fog. Okay, let's look at the next word. Og, and then we have an H in the front. H says og, hog. So a hog is another name for a pig. Okay, so that's hog. Here's the next word. OG says og. D at the front says d, so og, dog, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab our scissors and our glue because we're going to need those for the next part of this assignment. So go ahead and grab those things now and go ahead and press pause if you need to have a moment to go get those two supplies that you need. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and cut out, move my pencil, I don't need it anymore, and go ahead and cut out these squares down at the bottom, cutting on the dotted lines. Just go ahead and cut all the way across like that, okay? So dotted lines, when you see those on a paper, almost always means to cut or fold. So it's really important that you listen to the teacher's directions to know which we should be doing. In this case, we're cutting on the dotted lines. Okay, and you guys know we've done these before, so you've had lots and lots of practice with this, cutting on the dotted lines. And I'm just going to cut out each letter individually now. All right, and I will cut these ones out as well. Okay. All right. Now, if you need more time to cut and sort your letters, this is a great time to press pause on your video to get all caught up with and to be at the same place as Mrs. R. Right now, I'm just sorting my letters. So again, if you need more time for cutting and more time for organizing your letters, this would be a great time to press pause, get your letters cut out, and then organize your letters. Have them all ready in front of you, which will make it so much easier when it comes time to glue. Okay, now that we've cut out all our letters and we have them all sorted out, we are going to start gluing in our letter sounds. So grab my glue stick and we will get started. All right. So let's take a look. Here is our first word, log. The first sound is ul, as in the letter L. So I'm going to put a small dot of glue in my first letter sound, which is L. And I'm going to give you a little hint. Because we're working with the og family, all the words are going to have an O and a G in the second and third spot, O and a G, O and a G. So we automatically know that after we put our first letter in, the second letter is going to be an O, and the next letter is going to be a G, just like that. So og, log. And a log, of course, you know what a log is. It's a piece of wood, isn't it? Sometimes we find logs on the beach or in the forest. It's a part of a tree that's no longer attached to the ground and it's been cut down. So that's a log. Sometimes they fall down too. Logs are great to sit on. Sometimes they cut the logs up and they use them to make like the wood we build our houses with and lots of other things. Okay, here's our next word, fog. And we talked about fog. It's just moisture that's in the air, water that's floating in the air, and it makes it hard to see sometimes. It makes it kind of gray. Depending on how thick the fog is, you may or may not be able to see in front of you. So it's basically these big clouds that are down near the ground, okay? So the first letter we're looking for in fog is the F sound, which is the letter F. So let's go ahead and put the letter F right there. Okay, the next sound, of course, we know it's the og family, so it's going to be an O and a G. Do you see a pattern here with these two words? They both have O and G, okay? Let's go to our next word, hog. And remember, we talked about a hog is another name for a pig. Okay, so in the word hog, H says as in hog. So we're going to go ahead and put H there. And then we know according to the pattern, and also because this is part of the og word family, the next letter is going to be an O. And the last letter is going to be a G. Pretty simple. Do you see the pattern? O-G, O-G, O-G. Let's see this next word, dog, d. Of course, we know D makes that sound. Oh, but I don't see a D. Look here. Sometimes our D will get flipped around and look like a P, but we can turn it around and make it into a D. So D, and then following the pattern, O, and what's that last letter? You're right, it is that letter G. And there we go. We have built some cool words with our OG family letters. Let's go ahead and read them before we continue on. Og, og, fog, og, hog, og, dog. Okay? If you are not quite finished with this and you need a little bit more time, this would be a great time to press pause until you're finished. All right, now that we're done building words, we're going to sort some pictures. We're going to sort with OG. And remember, OG says og. So any pictures down here at the bottom that have the og sound in them, thumbs up means we're going to put it on the left side. If it does not have the og sound in it, thumbs down, then it goes on the right side. So let's take a minute to take a look at the pictures we have down here at the bottom. I see a picture of a hog, gate, house, log, shell, dog, fog, and hippo. So first thing we need to do is go ahead and grab your scissors and we're going to cut out these squares. So I'm going to cut straight across just like this and then have this piece of paper over here to the side. And then again, on the dotted lines, we're going to cut each of these squares out. Okay. Just take your time and cut neatly on the lines. And then I'm going to cut, oops, I've got a little piece stuck there. Let me recycle that. I'm going to cut straight across just like this. Okay, and then cut here, and here, and here. And again down here, and here, and here, and here. All right. If you are still cutting your pictures out and you need more time to cut and sort them, then this is a great time to press pause on your video and give yourself a few minutes to get those finished and catch up to Mrs. R. Move these down a little bit. So go ahead and press pause if you need some extra time. All right, now that we have cut and sort out all of our pictures, let me make that a little bit bigger. Bring these over here like this. And let's decide where we should put these pictures. Remember, pictures that go on the left side must have the OG sound in them. So let's take a look at our first one here, clam. Does clam have the OG sound in it? Nope, I don't hear OG in the word clam. So this would go on the right side, the thumbs down. It does not have the OG sound. Here's our next picture. Dog. Dog. Does dog have the OG sound in it? D-og. Yes, I hear the OG sound in the word dog. There we go. It goes on the left side, thumbs up, because it has the OG sound in it. Here's another picture. Fog. Fog. Does fog have the OG sound in it? Og. Yes, it does. So it goes on the thumbs up left side. Here's another one. Hog. Remember, a hog is another name for a pig. Hog. Does hog have the og sound in it? Og. Hog. Yes, it does. All right. Here is a picture of a hippo. Does hippo have the og sound in it? Hippo. No, I do not hear the og sound in the word hippo. So it go on the right side, thumbs down, because it doesn't have the og sound. Here's another one. Log. Log. Do you hear the og sound in the word log? Log. Log. Yes, I hear the og sound in the word log. All right, down to our last two, friends. House. House. Does house have the og sound in it? House. No, I do not hear the og sound in the word house. So it goes on the right side, thumbs down. Last picture. Gate. Gate. Does gate have the og sound in it? G-ate. No, I do not hear the og sound in the word gate. And it's okay if we cover up the person down here in the picture, okay? Oop. If you ever notice some of your pieces are coming up, you can just glue underneath there a little bit more so they don't pop up, because we don't want to lose our pieces, do we? All right, so let's take a look. The ones that we decided do have the og sound, dog, fog, hog, and log. And you can also know that they all rhyme. If they're all in the same word family, which these are in the og word family, you know that they're all going to rhyme. They all have the same ending, hog, dog, fog, and log. Now on the side that is not part of the OG family, we have shell, hippo, gate, and house. And none of those rhyme because they are not part of the same word family. Now, if you need a little bit more time to glue your pictures, this is a great time to press pause. All right, boys and girls, you did some great work today, working on building words with OG and sorting words with OG. And so that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day of learning. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye, everybody.